guys? Hey, welcome back. I know we did something yesterday, but I'm just here to update some trends and kind of let you guys see what's going on and make sure that we keep updated on where these trends are going and kind of what's hot and what's not. And all right, so with that being said, let me just get off into this quote from Richard Dennis. Okay, the market being in a trend is the main thing that eventually gets us in a trade. That is a pretty simple idea. Being consistent and making sure you do that all the time is probably more important than the particular characteristics you use to define the trend. Whatever method you use to enter trades, the most critical thing is that if there is a major trend, your approach should assure that you get in that trend. Okay, so that's what we're here. We're checking out the trends because we're trend followers, and it's our job to be updated on the big move and make sure that we know which stocks are going where and which ones are not. Okay, so and may I just add to that quote from Mr. Richard Dennis is that he said if there is a major trend, your approach should assure that you get in that trend. Okay, so it's not saying get into the trend at the very beginning or get into it at the very bottom if you're going to short sell it. If not, then you're not really trend following. You're not trading to the best. Because as I was listening to some audio and some other things today, I also came to the realization from listening to Michael Covell's latest podcast, and I really would advise anyone to that's trend following, really to go listen to that last podcast from Michael Covell because it's something special. But anyways, the majority of these trends are kind of in the middle. Okay, the majority of if you're going to catch the majority of these moves, you're going to catch them in the middle. You don't know what the middle is because you don't know how far a trend is going to go. Okay, so if there's a major trend, your approach should be assure that you get into that trend. So all we're doing is just making sure that we're getting into the trend and riding it for as long as it goes. And with that being said, let's go ahead and take a look at some of the trends that I'm just updating and we're taking a look at because we already took an entry on a few of these. Okay, so really quickly, let me show you. You'll never see me showing you guys anything that looks like this. Okay, not now. Get out of here. You'll never see me showing you guys anything that looks like this, anything that looks like this, anything that looks like this. Okay? None of this. You know why? We're not just gonna buy anything. We're not just gonna buy anything. Okay? Look at this is a little bit more consistent. Okay? Some consistency here. Another thing too, guys, you're not going to see us trading a lot of crap on here. We try to stay away from crap because I don't know. And what I mean by crap, because I know I said there's no such thing as good stocks and bad stocks, which is true. But what I'm saying is that I like stocks with the volume over 1 million or at least over 500,000. Okay, and I like the market cap over at least 300 million or a billion to a billion. 300 million to a billion, because that's where you get better companies, better prices, and better everything. Okay, all right. So with that being said, I'm not, I don't have anything bad against anyone that trades anything that looks like this or that looks like whatever. Okay, because there's a million ways to make money in the markets. I'm just saying personally, I like consistency. I like strength in my charts. I like higher highs and higher lows, at least 3 to 4 higher highs and higher lows. And I like to be over the 200-day moving average, preferably. Okay? If we're not already over the 200-day moving average, then there's a good reason that we're rounding at the bottom and that we've had some consistent higher highs and higher lows and that we are reversing up towards the top. Okay? With that being said, let's get into some charts. DENN, we talked about this last week. Congratulations to anybody that got on there. This thing is still continuing. It's still trading. Okay? It's still going. Give you the 5-day. All right? The stock's still riding. And I took an entry today on this stock at about 740. Okay? So I just got tired of seeing it run down. All right? SVU, this stock had a good day as well. Okay. I like the strength. I like what the stock's doing. Let me just show you why. Really fast. Sorry about that. All right. So today we opened at 714 and closed at 751. All right. And what I say, why do we like this stock, you guys? Why do we like this? Remember we were looking at it because it broke out of this area. See? And we got continuation on it today. All right. We were looking at the stock coming in, I think last week Sunday, or last week Friday. And then we were looking at it Monday. Of course, we're looking at it today. All right. Before the session's open. So everyone's had a few shots to get at this thing. All right. To get along on, to get a ride on this. All right. I'm gonna start having like an analogy, day on this show because they're pretty interesting how the trend following analogies work with real life. And I had one it's kind of like, I'll save it. Well, anyways, it's like a bus stop. So trend following is like riding a bus. It's like you know that there's a bus because there's a bus and it's on the route. There's a bus stop there. Okay? The bus stop is like the trend. The bus stop is like where the bus stops and picks you up. That's where the trend, that's where your entry is. It could either be crossing over a new high like this. That's a bus stop. It could be crossing over this moving average. That's a bus stop. Because you're just waiting for the bus to stop for you to get on and catch a ride and go. All right? And when you miss the bus, that means that you missed the trend. Okay? And your risk management for riding this bus is arriving at the bus early. When you arrive at the bus early, if anyone knows a bus rider that rides in the city, you have to arrive at a bus early, sometimes half an hour to an hour, because you just don't know what the hell's going to happen. Trend following is the same thing. You have to take a ride on this bus, arrive early in case you don't know what happens, and be at the bus stop on time to catch it. So use your risk management. That's the whole key here. I don't care what strategy you have. Number one key, day trading strategy. If your risk management isn't correct, okay, and your risk to reward is off, then finito. I like SVU for continuation below today's candle. For anybody who's catching a ride on that. All right, I don't like it below today's candle and start getting into this candle. It means we could be. I like it as long as we're sitting. As long as this, what I say on yesterday. I said as long as this is actually support turn resistance, then we're good. I mean resistance turn support, then we're good. All right, SVU. EYPT, and I'm keeping it in order because I remember I had some comments in the section, and that's fine. I leave my comments open because I need you guys' feedback. We're all here to learn. I'm not better than anybody. We're all here to learn. I'm here to learn as well. But anyways, I'm going through these in alphabetical order, and I'll put them in the comment section in alphabetical order as well. I took an entry on EYPT at about 220, 225 last week, and this stock's still working, still green. It's getting kind of funny looking here. It's getting tight. I like it if we can close here with the candle here. Shows some continuation, but this stock's still strong. Still some continuation there, all right? Today we opened at 223, had a high at 254, and closed at 246, all right? So that stock is doing well. I know you guys are itching to see EBIO. We were talking about it Sunday and we were talking about it Friday. We were talking about it Monday. Of course, we're as long as these things are still valid, we're just catching the ride, okay? Lord knows I might be talking about Denny's all week. I might be talking about SVU all year. I could be talking about Denny's SVU, any of these stocks all year as long as they're continuing. And speaking of that, so there's you guys. If you're barely catching a ride on this, you're buying the closing price, or you're watching to see what this stock does when it opens. I wouldn't buy it below here, but I like it with the stop below this. This is your stop in case, this is your risk right here. Manage your risk right there. Depending on your portfolio size, whatever account size you have, account that, add that into your share size and your stop right here, okay? But I don't like it below that candle. All right, SMRT. I'm long on this thing. Someone was giving me a tweet today saying that I don't know about something about earnings, or I don't know if earnings is coming up because I don't trade earnings. So I always have a stop and play, and I know it might not be the safest thing. I know some people don't trade like that. They're like, wait, if earnings is coming, I loosen up my positions, this, that, and the third. Well, in my opinion, if we're in an uptrend and earnings are coming up, we're probably in an uptrend because business is good, and whatever the case may be. So that's to your own discretion. I still have a light position here, and I still have my stops in play. But we were talking about it yesterday or sometime, and I said I like it with the close above that, and we still are banging up against this here. We're still banging. And what I in response to that tweet to my friend Ferris, and I still love you, bro. Everything's fine. We're still good. Everything's okay. I'm just saying. I'm thinking possibly that whatever the earnings could be what would be the catalyst to knock this down. Maybe this is waiting on some type of catalyst to get through this area, or to deny this area, or to deny this area here. It's either going to get through this area and continue, or deny this area and go down or go sideways. Either or. Right now it's kind of bouncing a little bit sideways, but in my opinion, it has enough momentum to push through there. All right, that's what I'm looking at. Then if we break through there, then that's a buy. That's clearly a buy. It's because it's going to make a new high for the year. All right. All right. And speaking of that, you guys, let me say something really fast. I'm not doing this. I'm not having this trend following stock analysis show so that people can go buy my stocks and I can raise people can raise the share price and I can dump it and all that kind of crap. Like, that's not the way I trade. I'm following trends for the long term. And by the way, if I'm following trends for the long term, I'm following the smart money. The market is pushing my money. I don't need anyone to buy anything so I can dump it and all. I don't even technically, I'm gonna be honest with you, I don't even freaking know how to do that. I wouldn't even know how to buy a share, and that's not my strategy, and I don't even want to waste my time doing that. And I don't work for promoters. I'm not here to promote anyone's stocks. And I'm just a normal person like you guys, but I'm a normal trend follower. I'm a normal trader like anybody else. Okay, I just use risk management and I use my edge, which is, okay, I showed you guys a few times. If I played my edge out in 100 trades, I'd be up over the year. Okay, because my risk to reward is correct, and and I adjust accordingly. All right. AKAO. Oh, I like this stock right now, and I have another one I like. I'm going to get out of here shortly. I don't want to keep you guys longer than 15, 20 minutes. I know that's kind of long, so we've been here 10 minutes roughly, I think. All right. AKAO, I like this stock now. As you see, there's a green line here. That's where it closed today, but it's approaching the 200-day moving average. It's crossing the 200-day. You see it right there. All right, you see that? And it's breaking this key resistance level here. See, look, bang, bang, not all the way here, but bang, bang. So we're banging up against this, and we're banging here against it, and now we're banging. You guys are gonna learn. This is educational. Old resistance turns support. This is not support yet, but it's attempting to be. And I'm not rushing the thing. I'm not rushing anything. And what else did I say? See this kind of long-term downtrend? Let's pan out really fast and see what's going on here. So that was on the yearly. Let's see what it really looks. Okay, look, not bad. We're rounding on. This is a rounding bottom. I love this pattern. It's like my favorite pattern. I love it. The success rate behind this pattern is ridiculous, you guys. This rounding bottom showing that prices are being rejected. If anyone this is your first time watching the show, this rounding bottom is like my favorite pattern. It's like a trend followers pattern. It's like a reversal pattern, showing that prices are reversing from the downside to the upside. It's like plain and simple. Cup and handle. Okay, cup and handle. All right, little cup and handle here. But I'm looking at the rounding bottom. That's what I'm looking at. I'm looking for this to round and prices to continue up. Speaking of that, that brings me to HTGM. I didn't even have it on my list. I'll put it on the bottom before I leave, because I was talking about a rounding bottom there too, and that thing just went crazy. Matter of fact, let me go to HTGM. You guys, excuse me, if you guys are gonna go through this and look for the stocks, it's gonna be in order, okay? So you guys can find them and stuff. However, it's no biggie. Anyways, look at this HTGM really quick. Just reminded me when I was talking about rounding bottom. I said I'm gonna show these guys this today, because we were talking about a rounding bottom. You guys remember? I said, look at the rounding bottom on HTGM. I said we rounded. We kept rounding. I said, look, we rounded here, went up. Rounded here, went up. Rounded here, went up. Rounded here, went up. What are we doing now again? And what I say again, I was trading this earlier in the year, and I got impatient, which I learned from. Have to sit tight. I got impatient. Rounded here, kind of false breakout. And then I was like, you know what, I'm not doing this. And I just forfeited my position, and it rounded again and popped. So this HTGM chart, just like the AKAO chart I just showed you, is rounding, and it pops. There it is. Rounding bottom, bang. Rounding bottom. Okay, so we're rounding again. I don't know how to say this. Off the past history of this chart on this stock, these rounding patterns are popping patterns, like buy signals. Okay, you have to sit and wait for it to develop, which takes patience. And if you're a good trend follower, you have patience. I mean, you're not even a trend follower if you don't have patience. You're not a good one, at least. Because trend following is all about waiting for this move. If you got long here, you have to wait for that to develop to get that. Okay? And then you probably had an exit signal when it did this. Alright, and then you know. Alright? So it's rounding again. And it rounded. I mentioned this Monday or Sunday, whatever, what day that was, coming into the sessions. Coming into today's session. Said HTGM's rounding, and I said I like it. And what happened today? What happened when I said it was rounding today? Look at today's session. Opened at 367, closed at 39 at where it's at now, $4, $3.99. All right. I mentioned this to you guys yesterday when I said HTGM is rounding, and I showed you guys the chart just like I did today. And I said it's rounding, and look what it did. It gave you 40 cents roughly, 33 cents. Okay? Alright. I'm going to close up shortly. I just want to give you guys Pandora and DS. Pandora I like because it has the market cap to push it, over 1 billion or something, and something like that. Anyways, we're approaching this key level, breaking out of this key level here. See that? Matter of fact, we closed above this key level here. Let me pan out so I can get a better look. Yeah, that's right. We did close above that. I'm not a predictor, alright? I'm not saying I'm a predictor. I'm just saying we closed above this. Well, got some work to do. Keep your eyes on it. It's gaining momentum. definitely got the market cap to, so we'll be keeping an eye on that move. Pandora. Maybe something's changing inside that whole thing there. Take a look at Drive Shack. Alright. I like this stock because what it's doing, the structure, the strength behind it. Alright. I told you guys when we just shortly ago, I'm not going to buy all that stuff on FinViz that just looks horrible. I need consistency. Higher highs, higher lows. Show me that we're going somewhere. Show me that this is a bus to catch. Give me a bus stop. Give me a schedule, a date, a time, something. You know? I'm not just going to go sit anywhere and just like, la la la, there's no bus here. What are you doing here? I'm like, oh, I'm waiting on the bus. He's like, there's no bus here, buddy. The hell are you talking about? I'm like, oh, I thought there was a bus here. He's like, no, there's no bus here. Same thing as like, there's no trend to catch. There's no trend to follow. If there's no trend to follow, you know what? Count me out of it. I don't do that kind of business, all right? I'm serious. We need a cross of new 52. We need something. We need some consistency. We need some strength, some higher highs. You know? Something. Just have me out in the boondocks waiting at a bus stop where there's none at. I mean, really, stop. You guys don't be just buying. And what I'm trying to say here, you guys got to learn. From what I learned in this whole trend following aspect is like you learn how to think it from a different aspect. Maybe it's everyone's not going to think the same, but you have to have this certain kind of thinking. I'm not the type of person that can sit at my screen for 10 hours a day and trade and do all this kind of stuff. I can't do it. I just can't. Only thing I need to do is see where the new 52s are, see where the strength is at, see where my current long positions, my stocks are at, adjust them, and keep riding the wave. Either I'm long the wave or I'm not long the wave. Either I'm taking that signal or I'm not. That's it. I don't need to sit at my screen for 10 hours to do that. Seriously. Business as usual. All right? So I will see you guys. I know I keep saying I'll see you guys this day. I'll see you that day. I'll see you guys Wednesday. All right? We'll take a look at everything. All right. Good trading, you guys. Trade safe. Manage risk in any case. And like Richard Dennis said, don't miss that big move.